In a world that's always changing, how does a culture actually survive? It's a huge question. And today, we're going to look at the story of one woman who's become a living, breathing answer to that question, a true guardian of the flame for her entire community. Seriously, take a second and think about your own heritage. The stories, the language, all those traditions. How do we make sure those things aren't just, artifacts in a museum? How do they stay a living, breathing part of our world? It's a massive challenge that cultures all over the globe are dealing with right now. Well, over in Singapore, the answer to that huge question isn't some big strategy or government program. It's a person. We're talking about the tireless work of Kalaivani Ilango. She's an educator and a huge advocate for Tamil literature, and her story really gives us a powerful blueprint for how cultural preservation can be done. All right, so let's get into her story. A passion this deep doesn't just appear out of nowhere, right? It's something that's forged over time. For Kalaivani, it was a journey that started super early, a path of dedicated learning that really shaped her into the incredible advocate she is today. And you can really see that dedication when you look at her educational path. From primary school right there in Singapore, all the way to Queen Mary's College in Chennai, and then back to the National Institute of Education. You see, this isn't just a career path. This is a lifelong immersion in the very culture she's fighting so hard to protect. Okay, so with that deep foundation, she's built this incredible, multifaceted mission. And here's the key part. She's not just preserving the culture, she's actually igniting a passion for it in pretty much everyone she meets. And she does this through a whole bunch of different roles, which we're going to break down right now. First up, and this is at her core, she's an educator. We're talking over a decade of experience here. And she isn't just standing in a classroom teaching a language. No way. She's inspiring young people through storytelling and workshops. And her impact goes global, too. She actually represents Singapore's Tamil education sector on the world stage. Pretty amazing. But her work doesn't stop at the classroom door. Not even close. She's also a leader. Think about her work with organizations like the Alicia Tamil Toastmasters Club, where she's literally shaping the conversation in literary forums and debates. See, she's not just teaching the heritage. She's building the community that's going to carry it into the future. And on top of all that, she's a total creative force. She's an author of plays, a published poet, a really acclaimed public speaker. She just lives and breathes this culture, and you can see it pouring out of her through every single creative outlet. So when someone pours this much of their heart and soul into their community, you better believe that effort doesn't go unnoticed. The impact of her work has been officially recognized in some pretty big ways, as we're about to see. And there's one year in particular that really stands out, 2020. This was a true landmark in her journey. It was a moment where her decades of dedication were celebrated publicly and powerfully. That year, she received two massive honors, the Women Achiever Award and the Kannadasan Award. And look, these are not just trophies to sit on a shelf. They're a real testament to her status as a recognized and deeply respected leader in her field. But for a true guardian of the flame, the work is never just about personal awards. It's always about the future. It's about passing that torch to the next generation. And in the 21st century, that means you have to embrace the digital world. And this is where her mission takes a really cool modern turn. Her involvement with the Singapore Tamil Youth Club is all about that. The club has launched this incredible initiative to document the stories of the next wave of dynamic Tamil youth, and this is the crucial part, to share those stories with the entire world. So how do they do it? Well, the process starts with something traditional. They compile all these inspiring stories into a book, but then it evolves. They're building an interactive digital asset, a whole online experience, to make these stories accessible to anyone, anywhere on the planet. This, right here, is how a cultural flame stays bright. It adapts, and it finds new ways to shine. So what is it that drives someone to dedicate their entire life to a cause like this? To teach, to lead, to create, and to innovate, all for one single purpose. Well, it really all comes down to a core philosophy, a guiding principle that kind of lights up her entire journey. This quote here really says it all. Now, a loose translation is that knowledge and wisdom have to lead to action and cultivate good character. Think about that. It's not enough to just know the culture. You have to live it. You have to share it. And you have to use it to empower the next generation. That, right there, is the very essence of her living legacy. And that leaves us with one final, really important question. Kalaivani is working so hard to preserve the stories of her community's youth, and it just makes you wonder, in our own communities and our own lives, whose story deserves to be preserved and told next? And maybe more importantly, who's going to be the one to tell it?